Hi folks, this is Vent with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review Gem Wizard Tactics. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about 15 bucks. So this is a top-down, hex-based strategy game. I see it more of a roguelike, in the sense that in the campaign mode, you're going to be choosing one of two factions. The third one is either locked or unavailable right now. And you're going to be choosing one of three missions, and you can say, okay, if I do this mission, I can possibly unlock these characters or these units that I can take with me into the rest of the campaign, assuming they don't die. And then you enter that campaign mission, and you try and complete it, and if you win, then you get to choose more. Okay? If you die, your campaign is over, and that's it. So that's why I see it more as a roguelike than one of those 1v1 tactical games where, you know, you've got a base, the enemy's got a base, and you're spawning units on a hex-based grid attacking each other. I don't see that as this. This is more of a, you know, like I said, more of a roguelike that way. Now, there is a missions option. Instead of doing the campaign, you can do the missions, and those are like pre-planned pre-planned missions or challenges that you'll have to try and beat. There's also like a unranked skirmish mode, but you really can't choose what units enter the skirmish. You can choose what faction and the like, but it's just very limiting in terms of, you know, what options are available to you. So what's cool about this game, let me get that out of the way. What's cool about this game is that there are a lot of different units. These units will use action points to move around, and they will use action points to activate certain abilities. In addition to that, some of the actions require gems, and these gems can only be picked up on the map. So this unit might have abilities that just need action points, and you're like, okay, fine. But maybe this ability, or this unit over here, has an ability that not only needs action points, but needs a gem to activate. So part of the game is maneuvering the map, using your terrain. Trees, for example, will slow you down in terms of action points, but will provide extra defense. There's flanking in this game, which you have to make use of. Flanking works as follows. Like, if there's no one surrounding the enemy unit, no matter where you go, adjacent to him, it will always face you. However, if you already have a unit facing, like, adjacent to the enemy, and you get another unit behind him, then that's flanking. So that's something I had to get used to. There are other abilities in this game that also take some getting used to. Like, there are certain abilities that charge you in a particular direction. And you can actually push enemy units off the map to kill them. But I made the mistake of activating an ability. I thought my bulldozer would stop. I did an ability trying to push them off. And I did. I pushed them off, but my bulldozer went with it. So I'm like, oh, so my bulldozer didn't stop with that ability. Okay, well, lesson learned. So there's a lot of, like, abilities in this game that you're going to have to get used to. Using, like, rain effects to make tiles wet, and then you can use, like, electric abilities to zap everything. And, like, you can combine different powers in different ways. Like, that part of it is really cool. The biggest problem that I have with this game is the difficulty. It's just unforgiving. In fact, so much so that I don't want to touch it again. I'm not saying that this is a bad game. I'm just simply saying that it's too challenging for me. There are no difficulty settings. And on these campaign maps that you're doing, enemies continuously spawn and you are always outnumbered. I wouldn't mind it if the enemy did not spawn extra units. Like, I would be fine with that. And okay, maybe I'm outnumbered. Okay, but like, as soon as I feel like I'm making headway in a map and I'm figuring things out, bam, 2 or 3 enemy units spawn in a part of the map, and okay, well, that ruins that. Now, luckily, like, your objectives are to capture flags, and these flags can be obtained by capturing towers and destroying enemy units holding flags. So you don't have to destroy everyone. But that being said, like, I tried. Let me just preface this. In my test with this game, I played the campaign 3 times. I lost on the first mission 3 times. I couldn't beat it. The 4th time, I did beat the first mission barely. I got 2 flags, but I lost a unit in the process. And I'm like, this is just the first campaign mission. So I clearly am not doing something right, and the game is just too challenging for me. So, like, and on the top of that, like I said, there's no difficulty settings. So there's no way to tone this down at all to make it more accessible to the casual player. Like, this is a game I want to play, but it's just too challenging and too difficult for me to play. So, do I recommend this game? Only to those that are hardcore strategists that love a challenge. That's who I would recommend this. It's a very niche audience. Okay, so if you're into hardcore games and every decision matters, and even if you think about everything and you're still up against the wall, you're still outnumbered, you're still outgunned, and you're trying to get things done. And yeah, this game is going to require you to play it several times to get used to all the abilities, the tactics involved, and to be honest with you, the game is too frustrating for me to continue playing. If there were difficulty settings, that would be one thing. I would love to see that. I would also love to see customization options in terms of like skirmish and different things. There's a game that I would rather play called the Last Regiment, where there's a deck building element, there's factions, you can combine any card that you want into your build. So you can create your own faction almost, and your own team of different things. And it's like a 1v1 scenario where you're on even ground and you're capturing spots on the map. I would rather play that because I've got even footing and I've got all these cool units and abilities to play around with. This game, yeah, there's cool units and abilities to play around with, but you're always at a disadvantage no matter what you try to do, and I don't like that. And again, there's no way to choose your units going into anything in terms of like a new campaign run. You're just given random units. Units will level up, but there's no like talent trees. So their stats will increase, and that's that. So yeah, do I recommend this? Only to those that are hardcore strategists and love this style of game. But there are other games like Last Regiment that I would totally recommend over this one. So sorry, I can't do it. It's just too much for me. Had it been more accessible to the casual player, I would recommend it, but as it stands, I would wait for a sale. Or, like I said, if you're a diehard, then go ahead and pick it up. If you guys haven't already, subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.